And occasionally say,
Well, I kept asking questions, which, you know, made
I was
it
like,
Archie, shut up.
Well,
Should I fall asleep? But no, I was curious, you know, I wanted to know.
and
It was great. I
yeah,
loved
it was fun, it was a lot of fun. Mother had really great memories of, Alan, of you and Penny coming down to Florida to see us. At any time we would talk about you guys, Mother would say, I remember that little Lily as a 3-year-old running around the apartment with no clothes on.
Is that the time she beat up Ryan that you were telling me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't remember that. But I think Dan was a baby and Lily was about 3, and Mother thought it was so cute that she would, you know, because I think they moved over to our aunt's apartment, and I think all of us were in the 1 bedroom, and that was fun. But Mother
It was a nice time.
she could remember Lily running around with no clothes on.
Which she still does.
Yeah, she still, Lily still does.
Mama Flowers.
Hmm?
Mama Flowers.
Yeah.
She was a member of the garden club and did floral arrangements, and always loved having us send flowers for her birthday.
Yeah. She was in charge of the flowers at the church for a while too, because I remember on Christmas Eve and Easter and stuff, sometimes she'd be over there getting all the flowers for the service. They were real active in the church for a while. I think probably just for the sake of us, so that we would grow up with the church experience. And then about the time we were teenagers, I think I remember them dropping us at church and leaving and not being quite so much into it.
Yeah, I remember Mom and when I was, 6 or 8 or whatever, and getting my little black suit on, straightening my bow tie, and I remember smelling her breath from eating garlic bread the night before. That was part of the Saturday night poker game, and garlic bread, potatoes, salad.
Yeah.
Huge steaks grilled outside on barbecue.
Yeah. And I lost it.
Some of her memories of Brisbane, of course, Valhalla was the house that she grew up in, and it was the paradise lost, or the home place to return to. They sold it 20, 30 years ago, but one of Mom's stories that she would say the same thing every time I asked her about what grew there, because her dad had a lush garden. When we went over there, my job to water the garden, pick strawberries, but Mom would go through the grocery list of things that grew, and she would sigh, and I said, the pawpaws, the mangoes, the papayas. And that was one of her food heavens, but mixed with home. And then there were a lot of stories that she would tell about her dad and his kind of rigidity around waste and cooking, and never throw away any stock from what you cook. And I remember stories about Mrs. King's cook, and Granddad would have the orders, basically. Didn't hear a lot about her mom. Most of the stories I remember were her talking about it before.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, I mean, if we think of any other spontaneous stories, we don't really need to probably sit and try to dredge up stuff, but does this feel like sort of a stopping spot for the formal storytelling, or?
I think it's
You think?
naturally come into the
Yeah, yeah.
spontaneous.
We could certainly all get something in a cup and toast.
Karen, what do you have planned for the ashes? Are you planning to distribute any of those in Brisbane, or?
I brought that subject up to Jill, and she was like, what? Because I thought the house, Valhalla, the family house has been sold.
Yeah, it could be.
And I kind of thought it'd be kind of cool to sneak in at night and throw some in the garden, you know, because I thought Mother would kind of like that. And, but, and so.
you've got convict blood, you know.
Yeah, and then we actually have this fabulous yellow peace rose bush right outside our dining room at the farm. And I thought a little bit of, and I call that bush Thyra. And so I kind of thought that at least a little bit of the ashes should go into the Thyra yellow rose bush outside the house. I also thought if you guys had any, you know, yellow rose or anything, you know, any kind
Plant
of
a yellow rose.
memorial plant, that would be kind of nice. But ultimately, Dad's ashes were interred in Knoxville in the family plot where my grandmother and grandfather are. And Penny and Lily were just in Knoxville a couple of weeks ago and stayed at the only bed and breakfast in Knoxville, surviving bed and breakfast, which is near Church Street Methodist Church. It's right downtown. And I thought, you know, at the point where we could see a long weekend to go to Knoxville, it would be kind of cool to reserve however many rooms for whoever wanted to go, and, you know, just get that little piece of it, you know, finished up. But meanwhile, I've kind of joked around about it was so hard. Dad would at the drop of a hat, fly to Oregon to be with the grandkids. But Mother, it was really darn hard to get her to come out here. And it's kind of like, I tell her every once in a while, well, it took me so long to get you out here, I'm gonna keep you for a while. So, plus, she also was so thrifty that she would hate the idea of us spending as much money as that pretty urn cost and then have it just disappear in the ground. So I thought we ought to get our money's worth out of looking at her and having her in Oregon. Yeah.
That her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That urn.
That's not mine. I didn't know she was watching.
Toaster, yeah.
That's very true.
So anyway, and then, you know, every once in a while, she's sitting on the sideboard, and every once in a while I'll go put a martini glass there, you know,
Really?
Daniel's having
Oh, that's
martinis, you know, so,
That's nice.
you know, it's
Well,
kind
we
of,
should have the toast and.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
There's a tradition, I think, in the Kabbalah that one becomes immortal in two ways. One is through merit, and the second way is by your survivors bringing you out and remembering you. So I think Mom's immortality in part rests with us. And here's to Thyra and to keeping her memory alive. And maybe we do this often.
To Thyra.
Ira. Cheers, Mom.
Way to go, Ken.
Good day.
The wine is Rosemount from Australia. Valhalla's address was 30 Rosemount Terrace in Brisbane.
Oh, cool.
So
That's
I,
great.
we've bought Rosemount brand wine, which is actually from South Australia, not anywhere near Brisbane, but just the Rosemount, because of Valhalla and the address, I always think is kind of, I gravitate to that brand. That's kind of cool. And I looked for some Foster's beer, but
Couldn't find any.
couldn't find any. Not at Fred Meyer.
MOC, Market Choice, yeah.
Yeah, his birthday, yeah, and I finished it at some point during the week.
Took you a whole week, huh?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you edit?
Really good.
I certainly hope so.
Penny, thank you